Hello all, welcome to Codeforces round 991. We are solving problem B of division 3 transfusion. So in this problem we are given an array A of length n. In one operation we can pick up an index I from 2 to n minus 1 and do the following operations. That is decrease A of I minus 1 by 1 and then increase A of I by 1, or decrease A of I plus 1 by 1 and increase A of I minus 1 by 1. And after each operation all the values must be non-negative, and can you make all the elements equal after any number of operations. Okay, so the idea over here is that if you see the constraint first, that n can be 2 into 10 to power 5 and ai can range to 10 to power 9, and we have to find return that can they all be made equal after any number of operations or not. Okay, so very first thing to note it, like let's see if we have 6 2 1 4 2. If I'm m2, 6 and 1 can be modified. If I am at 1, 2 and 4 can be modified. If I am 4, 1 and 2 can be modified. One thing to note is that elements at odd position, that is 6, 1 and 4, they are connected. Elements at even positions 2 and 4, they are connected. Let's see some more examples over here. Let's see I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, let's say 8. Starting from 2, 1 and 3 will be connected, so I will note it down 1 and 3. When I'm at 3, 2 and 4 will be connected, so updating 2 and 4 in another list. If I'm at 4, if I'm at 4, 3 and 5 have to be changed, so adding 5 to my odd list. If I'm at 5, 4 and 6 will be made changes. If I am at 6, 5 and 7 will be can be changed, modified. If I'm at 7, 6 and 8 can be modified, so adding 8 to it. So we clearly see there is a division, that these numbers, there's some set is forming, and that particular set should get equal if we finally have to tell the entire array can be equal or not. So very first thing to note is that we'll be storing the sum of these individual sets, that is or an even position, and also their count, like what is the count of numbers that we have. So let's quickly jump to our code part, taking all the n as input, initializing our vector a of n, maintaining s of 0. S of 0 is sum, or at 0 is index, since we are starting it from 0, so 0 2 4 all that will be stored here. S1 will store from index 1 3 5, like that. CTR0 and CTR0 1 are basically the counter. We can simply do it using maths, using what is the sum or what is initial n count, but storing the count over there, taking the input ai, and based on whatever the index I have, updating s of 0 and ctr0 and s of 1 and ctr1. Now what are the possible cases if my answer is yes? My answer can be yes, that if the value divided by, that is whatever the sum I am getting over here, that the sum of this number divided by the count of this number, and sum of this number divided by count of this set's count, that should be equal. Also, that the total sum divided by total number of count, that should also be 0, because that is my the sum of entire numbers that I have, that should be divisible by the n that we have. Now let's reduce, like why so. One thing to note is individually, now that you can make changes to all these numbers and all that we understood. Also we know that individually this set also can be handled, but how are we sure that finally all this will land up to one particular number and in different sets also? That can be made first by the comparing the average value that I have, and since by division it can have some it will be floor value will be used, so that is why taking use of, if a is divided n1 divided by d1, comparing it with n2 divided by d2, we can write this thing as n1 into d2 equal to n2 into d1. So that is the comparison what I am doing over here. So that is the first comparison. Another comparison is that it should be divisible, that the sum of my n1 and n2, that is n1 plus n2, the total sum of entire array should be modulus by n, that is the total count, that should be equal to 0. Then only finally all the stuff can be made to a particular number, and that number should be total sum divided by n. then only that will be yes, otherwise my answer will be no. So yeah, that was the main mathematics behind this problem. If you like this video, understand it, hit the like button. If you have any query, do comment it out, and do subscribe for more daily content. Thank you.